Duide la fienban die hun quocotrient vifung kuch non murmir. The Mammoth and Her Calf. A survival story. It was a frigid morning in the desolate, icy expanse of Antarctica. A mother mammoth, her belly swollen with the weight of her unborn calf, trudged through the deep snow with her young one close behind. The calf, small and playful, ran in circles, its paws crunching the frozen ground, while the mother moved more slowly, searching the barren landscape for any sign of food. The cold was biting, but the two had adapted to this harsh world until something unusual broke the quiet. The first sign of trouble was the strange, rhythmic buzzing that seemed to grow louder with each passing second. The mother mammoth lifted her head, alert, her fur rippling in the icy wind as she scanned the sky. In the distance, she saw an enormous swarm of bees unlike anything she had ever encountered. These weren't the typical bees you'd find in warmer climates. They were huge, with translucent wings that seemed to blur the air as they flew toward her. Before she could react, the bees descended upon her. They landed on her thick, furry hide, crawling across her body, burrowing into her fur. The bees were building hives on hair in her belly, her legs, and even her back. The mother mammoth let out a deafening roar, the pain from the stings unbearable as honey began to drip from the hives, freezing in midair. Her calf, terrified by the sudden attack, cowered at her side, unable to understand why this was happening. The swarm was unrelenting. The bees, defying the freezing cold of Antarctica, continued their assault. The mother tried to shake them off, but the sheer number of bees was overwhelming. She couldn't move without hurting herself or her calf. Her fur was matted with honey in the cold, and she knew she had to find a way to escape, but the bees were everywhere. Meanwhile, high above the Antarctic landscape, 2 rescue helicopters were patrolling the skies, their pilots trained to spot signs of trouble. The helicopters were on a routine flight, scanning for potential emergencies, when one of the pilots noticed a strange disturbance in the snow below. Using binoculars, they zoomed in on the scene: a giant mammoth, covered in bees, struggling in the freezing cold. Without wasting a second, the pilots radioed for help and began descending toward the scene. The helicopters landed on the icy ground near the mammoths, their powerful rotors sending gusts of wind that pushed the bees away, but not enough to fully clear the swarm. The rescue team jumped out of the helicopters, equipped with heated blowers and special sprays designed to protect animals from insects. The team worked quickly, setting up the blowers to create a safe space around the mother mammoth and her calf. The wind from the blowers pushed the bees back, causing many to retreat into the distance. Meanwhile, the team used the sprays to coat the mammoth's fur, creating a protective barrier that the bees couldn't penetrate. Slowly but surely, the bees began to disperse, leaving the mother mammoth and her calf standing in the cold, but now safe from the attack. Exhausted, the mother mammoth stood tall, her fur damp and matted, but her body no longer covered in bees. She nudged her calf gently with her trunk, checking to make sure it was all right. The calf, still shaken but relieved, nuzzled up to her, sensing that the danger had passed. The rescue team, though cold and tired, couldn't help but smile at the sight of the 2 mammoths standing together, unharmed. The team members made sure the mother and calf were in good condition before getting back into the helicopters. As the helicopters lifted off into the sky, the mother mammoth and her calf slowly walked away, their journey continuing through the harsh, frozen landscape of Antarctica. Thanks to the quick thinking and swift actions of the rescue team, the mammoths were free to live another day in the unforgiving wilderness, with the promise of a safe future ahead. The bees had been driven off, and the cold, harsh world of Antarctica no longer seemed quite so threatening. What do you think of today's story? Leave a comment and share your thoughts. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more touching stories.